Hi everyone, a very good evening, and I would like to welcome you to our live show where I myself, Hina, founder and promoter of Worldify. I have here a very special person exactly here who is going to make your evening more special. Miss Ishita. She is going to discuss OET writing subtest discussion. Hi everyone, a very good evening, and I would like to welcome you to our live show where I myself. Okay, fine. There was a small disruption. Let's continue. She would be discussing here today OET writing criteria, basically. If you're struggling already with OET anywhere in the content that how to score B or A, it's not a big deal if you're having this session overcome. So please be very attentive, pick up your notes and pick up your pen, be ready for the rest of the session. And I am very sure after attending this session, you will be extremely confident to crack OET writing without fail. So all the best for your session. I'm handing over the session to our master, Ms. Ishita. All the best for you too. Take care.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction, Hina ma'am. I am so happy to have you all here, and thank you so much for inviting me for this live show where I can clear out students and OET candidates' doubts for the OET writing subtest. So we are just going to begin with OET writing subtest, and we will be discussing about the criterias and the strategies that we have to, we should be aware of while we are taking up the OET writing test. And before we begin with that, I'm just going to, sorry, I'm just going to tell you a little about me. And my name is Ishita, and I am the OET trainer here at Worldify Academia Hub. And I basically prepare all of you for OET writing and writing subtests and all the other modules as well. So let's begin with this. I hope this session will bring some clarity to you, and this session will help you out understanding your weaknesses, where you are lacking, where you can improve when it comes to writing letters and the skills that are required. All right. So we have here writing overview. It's important to first understand what exactly writing module is all about. Okay, what exactly you have to do, because we will be having students, all of you, whoever is watching right now, there might be students who don't know anything about it. Okay, they are new to this. They are not aware about the modules. So this will be a good overview for them as well, and it will be a revision for you if you already know a little about writing overview and writing module. So the task is to basically write a letter. You have to write a letter in OET writing module in your test. Usually we have three types of letters: referral, transfer, discharge letters are there. So basically, if I have to simplify it for you, you will have to write a referral letter where you will be referring your patient to someone else. Transfer letter where you will be transferring your patient to someone else, to some other maybe hospital or clinic. Then we have discharge letter where your patient will be getting a discharge from your care, and maybe they are going back to home, or there will be some other place in the case notes given. So these are the three sorry, types of letters that are there, and you will be prepared for uh, these. There will be some task instructions. We call it as case notes. So basically, case notes are details of the patient. Okay. So what happens is that suppose you have in your case notes, the information is given for a patient named Janet. Okay. So Janet is your patient, and everything about Janet's medical history, medical progress, her family background, social background, current progress, current condition, past history, everything will be given in those case notes. Uh, Along with that, below those case notes, you will have your writing task. Okay. So in that writing task, it will be given that what type of letter you have to write or who you have to write the letter to. Okay. Like it will be given, like you are the head nurse of Spirit Hospital and you have to write a discharge letter or referral or transfer letter uh, discussing about Janet's condition. Okay. To the admitting officer of some other hospital. Okay. So this is how your writing task will be. First, you will have to read the case notes and then you will have the writing task. Now, every time, whenever we are discussing the writing module, I suggest my students that you will get 5 minutes to read your case notes. Okay. Total 45 minutes are given for the writing module in your OET exam. Okay. So 5 minutes are given to you to just read the case notes. Okay. Now, what I suggest to my students is that you read the case notes twice. I'm so sorry. I'm having some cough for some time lately. Okay. So, you should read your case notes twice. Okay. Once when you are just skimming through the case notes, okay, you will get your case notes, you will have your writing question paper, okay. Just the first time you're looking at it, just skim through it, okay. Just skim through the case notes. Don't go in details. Don't read whatever is written, the medication's name, the disease, the condition, the dates. No, don't read all of that. You don't have to read all of that. You don't have to read too many details at that time, okay. First time, you just have to skim the case notes. Second time, when you are reading it, in those 5 minutes only, then read it in detail. Okay. Then read it from patient's name. What was the admission date? What is the discharge date? What is the initial what was the initial complaint, okay, medical progress, then what was the treatment given to the patient, everything, okay. Then read it in detail so that you get a good idea about what is the case about, okay. Then come to your writing task, okay. Now see, there is another strategy that you can use which does work for many students, and that is that you first read the writing task, okay, without touching your case notes, without even looking at the case notes. You first read the writing task. You straight up go to the writing task. You see your head nurse or head doctor of this department. You're taking care of Janet or whoever patient's name is given, okay, and then you have to write so and so letter. If the type of letter is not mentioned, that's okay. You will get that idea from the case notes only. You don't have to worry that, oh, the type of letter that I have to write, that is not mentioned in the writing task. Okay, when you will write 5 letters, 10 letters, 15 letters, you will practice every day, you will understand that what type of letter you have to write. Okay, even if in the writing task, it is not given that what type of letter you have to write. Okay, the writing task might be like write a letter to the admitting officer of the Spirit Hospital discussing follow-up care for Janet. That's all. Okay. Now there you don't have to get confused and you don't have to think that the type of letter is not given. You will understand that that from the case notes only. Okay. When you will read the case notes, in the end, somewhere it will be given. Okay. That what is the plan going on for the patient? Where is the case heading? Okay. Now see, your writing performance is scored against 5 criteria. Okay. Now, I was discussing about that strategy that does work for some students. If you read the writing task first and then you go on to your case notes, okay, you first read your writing task and then you read your case notes, it will basically give you some idea that, okay, what you are looking at, okay, what you might find in the case notes, okay. Suppose in the writing task, it is given that, what type of letter you have to write. Suppose it is given in the writing task that you have to write a transfer letter. Okay. Then if you go on reading your case notes, you will have that mindset only that I have to read these case notes in a way where I can write a transfer letter. Now, another thing I would like to mention here, one case note, okay, like one case can be used to write all the 3 types of letters. We have done this many times and it's a very good way of practicing for writing module. Okay, you pick up one case note. It can be of any patient. Lionel Ramamurthy is there. Betty Olson is there. Any case note you pick up, you try to write all the three types of letters on the basis of that one case note. It will really help you. You will see that how different all the three types of letters are on the basis of only one case note. Okay, try to write referral, transfer, discharge letter of you know, of all the like of based on just one case note. Okay, so this is another way to practice writing module. Now here we have writing performance is scored against five criteria. So basically, whenever you are writing a letter, there are five things that you have to keep in mind. Five criterias that are there on the basis of which you are assessed, your letter is assessed, and you get scores. Okay. And those are the five things that you have to keep in mind while you are writing your letter. Okay. Because that will make your letter good. All right. So let's see what are the five criterias of writing. So first we have here purpose, then content, then genre and style, organization and layout, and then language. Okay. So first we have purpose, how you develop the reason throughout the letter. See, the purpose of the letter will be clear to you from the case note. Okay. From the case note and from the writing task as well. In the writing task, what is the writing task is that will be, more like your purpose. Okay, that will be your purpose. And it is very important that you are maintaining your purpose throughout your letter. You're not losing the track of your purpose. Okay, many times it happens that when we start writing, we do have good writing skills and it just starts becoming like an essay. Okay, and you have to keep in mind that you're not writing an essay, you're writing a letter. All right. So it's important that what is the purpose of the letter, you're maintaining that till the end, till the conclusion passage of the letter. Content, required information included in the letter is accurate. Now see, in the case notes, many times some information is given about the patient which is irrelevant. Yes, which is irrelevant. It is not relevant to your task. It is not, it is not really required to write that in your letter. Okay, it will not be really accurate. It will not go with your writing task. Suppose, let me tell you, suppose something regarding patient's family background is given. Okay, information like the patient's grandfather had two sons and both of them are living with them. Okay, such kind of information is given, and in your writing task, it is given that you have to write the letter regarding the patient's care after the discharge. Okay, after discharge care. Okay, so here our purpose is different in the writing task. We have to write the letter regarding how to take care of the patient after the patient is discharged. Okay, and there that information, that point regarding the social background, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, it will be really irrelevant if you write that in your letter, and because you will have a word limit in your letter, right? There will be a word limit, 180 to 200 words, and you have to keep in mind that you don't exceed that limit. Okay, so it's very important that you understand from your case notes, you have such good knowledge and understanding of the case note that okay, this information is relevant, this information is not relevant, this point must go in my letter, this point is not needed. Okay, it's not an essay, and it's not you don't have to make it like an essay. All right, then genre and style, the tone or style that you use in letter. It's very important that the way you are writing your letter, it's professional and it's formal, because you yourself are a healthcare professional and you will be writing to another healthcare professional. So the style of your writing should be very formal and professional. Okay, you can improve that by using formal words and professional words rather than making it like a messy letter. It shouldn't be messy. Okay, organization and layout, where the letter is organized, there is a proper format that you have to follow while you are writing the letter. Okay. Now see, it's a very common query that we receive, that what is exactly the format of the letter. I agree that online materials, online sample letters that are available, I agree that In each letter, in every letter that you will see, you will find a new format. The date is sometimes in the beginning of the letter, sometimes the date is on the right side of the letter, sometimes you're starting with just one line introduction. I understand that. Okay, but there is a structure that you have to follow while you're writing your letter. Okay, and it has to be professional. Okay, so it has to be organized, well organized, right? It shouldn't be like it's not organized correctly. Okay, so there is a format and that we provide, so go with that. Okay, don't get confused by all the formats and all the ways that are that you will find in online materials. Okay, because then you will get confused that some sample letters are like this, some sample letters are formed in that way. Don't go here and there, just stick with one structure. Okay, then language is very important: grammar, vocabulary, spelling, punctuation. They will see how good your grammar is, how good your vocabulary is, okay, how long sentences you are making, okay, how many spelling mistakes you are making, okay. There shouldn't be many punctuation mistakes. It wouldn't look very nice if you make many punctuation mistakes. All right. So these are the 5 criteria that you have to keep in mind while you are writing your letter. Then we have um, the writing assessment. How is it done? One second. Okay. The writing assessment, how is it done? Now, see, here we have all the 5 criterias for writing. First, we have purpose. Purpose of document is immediately apparent and sufficiently expanded as required. Okay, it's very important that you understand the purpose of the letter. You are not explaining. See, it is easy. It becomes easy to explain things while you are writing. Okay, because we have always written essays, paragraphs in school and in colleges. Okay, we do have habit of writing. Okay, so it is easy to write a lot on one thing, but it is more important to write on important things, something which is more which is relevant. So purpose is very important. Okay, make sure that you're not losing track of your purpose while you're writing the letter. Purpose of document is immediately apparent and sufficiently expanded as required. If it is given that in the writing task you have to write the letter to the admitting officer to or to whoever regarding the patient's care after discharge. So make sure that you are providing sufficient information about the discharge plan. Why was the patient admitted? When was the patient admitted? What is the recovery status of the patient? These are all the things that go in a discharge letter. Okay. So that is how you're going to expand your purpose. Now see, content is appropriate to intended reader and addresses what is needed to continue care. Key information is included, no important details missing. Content from case notes is accurately represented. It is very important that the points that you are choosing from your case notes, the details that you are choosing, the information that you are choosing to write in your letter is accurate. Okay. And another thing, it should be concise. You're not going to write way too much information. It should be accurate. The information which has to be there, only that is there. Okay. Not irrelevant things. All right. Appropriate to intended reader and addresses what is needed to continue. Okay. Another thing is, make sure that you are, emphasizing on the action needed. The other person, admitting officer, you're writing to admitting officer, a nurse, or whoever you are writing the letter to, make sure that what the action that the writer has to take after reading your letter, that is clear. Okay, they understand that, okay, this is what needs to be done now. All right. So that is content, conciseness and clarity. Length of document is appropriate to case and reader. No irrelevant information included. Information is summarized effectively and presented clearly. Conciseness is very important. Make sure your letter is crisp and clear. But also, you're not missing out on important points. Okay. It will be of no use if we write a very short letter. Suppose 180 to 200 words limit is there. You only write for 187 words. Okay. Now your letter will be in limit, but what if you missed out on many important points? Okay. So what you can do here is that try to summarize the case note. First, understand the purpose, then summarize that how can you, just shorten this whole thing. Okay. So conciseness and clarity is very important. Genre and style, writing is clinical and factual and appropriate to genre and reader. Discipline and knowledge, technical language, abbreviations, and polite language are used appropriately for document and recipient. Yes, definitely. Your letter should have factual terms and medical terms you can use. Vocabulary should be appropriate. It should be, um, it should be perfect to the letter and the case note. Okay. Suppose you're writing to neurologist, the vocabulary of the whole letter will be different. If you're writing a letter to, if you're writing the letter to mother of the patient, the vocabulary will be different, completely different. Why? Because the tone will be different. Okay. I had this case note where, uh, uh, like we were practicing, and the case note was given for a girl, and there were three types of writing task. Okay. And on basis of one case note, we had to write three letters: referral, transfer, and discharge, all the three letters. So one letter was to the neurologist, and the other letter was to her mother. Okay. One for neurologist referral letter, one for another for mother discharge letter. Both the letters were completely different vocabulary, completely different style, and way of writing, absolutely different. Okay. So try to practice this. Okay. Sometimes when if the discharge plan is given in the end of the case note, you can write it as transfer or discharge both. Okay. Even as a referral letter sometimes. So try to practice that, I would suggest. One case note, three different types of letters. Okay. Then organization and layout. Organizing and paragraphing are appropriate, logical, and clear. Key information is highlighted and subsections are well organized. Document is well laid out. So it's very important that you are following the format. Correct format of the letter is very important. Your information is properly organized. You're writing the recipient's address, their designation, the letter is just for 15 words. No, please don't do that. Okay. It's very important that you are maintaining some kind of organized way. You're writing your letter in an organized way. Okay. Then we have here language. Language features, spelling, punctuation, vocabulary, grammar, sentence structure. These things are accurate and do not interfere with meaning. All right, it is very important that you have the good understanding of making a sentence, framing your sentences properly. You know that, you're aware of the grammar topics that can be used here. Okay. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the um, criterias of writing in a little, detail. Expanded purpose. Let's see. The purpose of your letter needs to be sufficiently expanded. Now, many people, many students mistake this and they think that, the letter will have main bodies where you will be writing main content of the case note. Okay. And they think that this is main body only. But we also call it expanded purpose. Why expanded purpose? Because our purpose is the main thing that we have to focus on. Okay. See, here we have two examples. Mr. Sheen requires your professional assistance for his ongoing difficulties with mobility following recent surgery. This is one-liner purpose. Okay, this is purpose in one line. What is the purpose here? Mr. Sheen requires your professional assistance for his ongoing difficulties uh, with mobility following recent surgery. So, professional assistance is required. Simple. In one line, you have explained it. Okay. The purpose. Now, expanded purpose will be what? Giving relevant and sufficient information about our patient and what needs to be done. Now, see, let's look at the expanded purpose, how you can expand this, adding up more information from the case note regarding our patient, Mr. Sheen. Mr. Sheen was admitted to St. Andrews Hospital 2 days ago with swelling and fluid buildup in his right knee, the result of a total knees replacement, which he underwent on 6/8/2020 due to osteoarthritis. The resulting pain and swelling have severely limited his mobility. What limited his mobility? This resulting pain and swelling. Okay. Consequently, his self care activities have been significantly compromised. Okay. So, this is how you maintain your expanded purpose. This is how you write your expanded purpose. In this purpose, this is just one liner what needs to be done. That's all. The patient's name is there and what needs to be done. That's all. And the current problem which is going on with him. Difficulties with mobility. All right. So here we have added admit date. Okay, where he was admitted, why he was admitted, and then his condition also. So this is how you have to expand your purpose. All right, and this can become your main bodies as well. If you all are not aware of the format of the letter, I can tell you that first we will have the name of the recipient, then their designation, then the address of the recipient that is given in your writing task. Then you will write, then you will have your date. Okay. Below that, you will write regarding, RE regarding the patient's name and their age. And then you will write the salutation. Okay. Then you can first begin with your introductory passage. Introductory passage will be for um it can be for 25 to 30 words. It shouldn't be more than that. It doesn't need to be. Okay. Introduction passage can be around 25 to 30 words, or only in two sentences, two long sentences. Okay. Then you can write three total main bodies in the letter. Three main bodies will be enough. Okay. You can write quite a lot of content in that three main bodies, and then you will have your conclusion passage. Conclusion passage will also follow the same rules as the introduction passage. Okay. So this is the format that you can use and that you can follow. Then we have content. The content of your letter accurately represents the case note. See, we have a discharge plan given here. Discharge plan and the details are given. Patient discharged home with family assistance, regular diet as tolerated, needs acute comprehensive rehabilitation, patient has front wheel walker. These are the points that are given to us as discharge plan of the patient. Now see, how have they expanded it? How have they, added these 4 points in a passage? Mr. Sheen's family will accompany him to his nursing home. Please note that he is not tolerating his regular diet. In addition to some rehabilitation, he also requires a front wheel walker. 1, 2, and 3. In total, 3 sentences, they have ended their discharge plan. Yes? See, the words that they have used: accompany, tolerating, in addition to. Okay, these are words that you can use to start your sentence to add up more detail. Look at this sentence. In addition to some rehabilitation, comma, he also requires a front wheel walker. Okay, they have summed up these 2 points: needs acute comprehensive rehabilitation, patient has front wheel walker. Okay, they have summed up these 2 points together. They have combined them in one sentence. Okay, so it's a good way of writing your sentences, and it will bring out a good, it will be good organized way it will be in a good organized way for your letter. Then conciseness and clarity. You summarized information effectively. Now here medical background is given, and these points are given to us: osteoarthritis, right knee progressive, severe pain, total knee replacement, severe difficulty with mobility, glandular fever, history of shingles. Okay, now see how have they summed this up. Mr. Sheen was admitted to St. Andrew's Hospital 2 days ago with swelling and fluid built up in his right knee, the result of a total knee replacement which he underwent on 10/8/2020 due to osteoarthritis. Now, see here what I would like to, I would like to bring attention to this sentence. Mr. Sheen, from Mr. Sheen till osteoarthritis. Do you see this is one sentence? There is no full stop here. This is what I'm trying to say. Try to make long sentences wherever it is needed. Not throughout the letter. You may have to, you may have to write long sentences. Okay. But whenever you are whenever you think that, okay, in this passage, I have to mention a lot of detail. Okay. This is main passage. Admission date is required, and these things I have to mention. Then you can go for longer sentences. To make longer sentences, a grammatical grammar topic which can be very useful is types of sentences: compound, complex, and simple sentences. Okay, practice for types of sentences grammar topic, and you will be able to make sentences longer rather than going for very short sentences. Now, most of the now see here, the resulting pain and swelling have severely limited his mobility. Consequently, his self-care activities have been significantly compromised. Sorry. Okay. So, most of the students who write their letters, how will they write this whole passage? Mr. Sheen was admitted to St. Andrew's Hospital. Full stop. He had swelling and fluid buildup in his right knee. Full stop. He had total knee replacement. Full stop. That happened on 10/8/2022/2020 due to osteoarthritis. Full stop. This this resulted in pain and swelling, and this caused him difficulty in his mobility. Okay. So all of these sentences that I just said, these are examples of how most of the students will form or will write their letter, will write this passage basically. So many full stops. Okay. Rather than going for shorter sentences, go for longer sentences when you have to add up, many details together. We have name of the hospital, name of the patient, condition of the patient, date, when did that happen, total knee replacement. We have that. What was the condition? Why did he had to go through replacement? Okay. Then what resulted in his difficulty in mobility? Okay. Then consequently, try to use these words to start your sentences when you are adding up more information. Consequently, in addition to, additionally, moreover, furthermore, therefore, hence. Try to use these words. I hope you all are understanding what I'm saying. Then we have here, self-care activities have been significantly compromised. He is not able to take care of himself is a very simple way to write this. Okay. His self-care activities have been significantly compromised. If I have to simplify it, you can say that he's not able to take care of himself. Okay. But try to try to use vocabulary words which are relevant and which are appropriate, which can make your sentence better. Now here we have genre and style. Your writing is clinical and factual. Make sure you are using, medical terms. See, this point that use medical vocabulary, medical terms, we kind of avoid it in the speaking module. Why? Because there you will be talking to the patient. Okay. Your conversation will not be happening with another healthcare professional, but with a patient or relative of the patient, and they are not very fluent with the medical language. Okay, so that there you can use simple English words, because you will have to explain things to the patient or to the patient's relatives, whoever is given in your cue card of the speaking module. Okay, but in the writing module, um, whoever you are writing the letter to is also a healthcare professional. So make sure that your letter has, you know, proper handwriting. Handwriting is very important if you are going for the paper-based exam. Okay, it shouldn't be like a very untidy handwriting you shouldn't have, because that will make it difficult for the person to check your exam sheet. Okay, and that is not very professional as well. You wouldn't want to receive a letter with a bad handwriting, and then you are not able to read it properly. You're not understanding what to do with the patient and what is there in the case. Okay, so it's very important to have a good handwriting. Now, social background: accountant, alcohol, 2 to 3 units, socially, non-smoker, enjoys watching soccer, walking dog. Okay. Now, this is very trusty. Social background, students, do we have to mention all these things? Uh, how much should I mention social background? Is it important to mention social background of the patient? Yes, it might be, it might be really important to mention social background if it is connected with your writing task. Let me tell you what I mean here. Suppose in your writing task, it is given that the patient is, dealing with a condition, liver condition. Okay. Um, Liver failure. Okay. That is your writing task, that you have to update someone regarding their liver condition. Okay. In the case note, throughout the case note, the patient is dealing with the liver condition problem only. Okay. The medications that were given to him, everything was regarding that. Then in his social background, it is given that he or she used to consume alcohol, on a daily basis, and they had drinking problem. Okay, so this is their social background. Now, this thing, their social habits are directly connected with the case. Yes, it makes sense that okay, because they used to consume alcohol, they were um consuming alcohol in high amounts. Okay, that is the reason for their current condition that led them to have such a problem. Okay, so here social background, social habits are directly connected. On the other hand, suppose you have to write a letter regarding a patient, and the patient's problem is basically fracture in leg, fracture in leg. Okay, in one of their legs, they had a fracture because of some car accident. Okay. Now, in their social background, it is given that they are a heavy smoker as well. Does it make sense? Being a heavy smoker, and then in your writing task, it is given that you have to write the letter regarding the fracture to someone. No, it won't make any sense. Okay. So, there you can choose to not write about the social habit of the patient, that he or she is a smoker, because that is not meaningful. That is irrelevant. That's not needed there. Okay, so you are only going to write the social background whenever you feel that it is it is important and it is relevant. Another example I would like to give: suppose there is a patient who lives alone. Okay, who lives alone and who has no one to take care of. Suppose just the other day we were doing this case note of uh, I forgot the name of the patient, but the case was a mother who just gave birth to a baby, and she and her baby both are living alone, and there is nobody from the family to help her. She doesn't live with the family, she lives alone. Okay. And in her social background, and basically, you are writing the letter to some NGO, okay, to take care of her and her baby, because there is no one to take care of her. There in her social background, this all of this is going on. Writing task is like that. The whole case note is based on this, that there is no one to take care of her, and she also is not really aware of how to take care of a newborn baby. Okay, and there in her social background it is given that um she has a neighbor who does take care of her whenever she needs help in emergency situations. Her neighbor is there to help her. Okay, so now this is something that will go. Okay, this this is something, this important, this point is something that should go in the letter, that yes, there is a neighbor that does help her during the emergency situations. Okay, so these are examples where you can get an idea which information you have to write and what is not important. Now see, uh now they have given us an example of how to write these things. How you can sum up these points. You might be interested to know that Mr. Sheen was an accountant. While he drinks quite heavily, which is a major concern, luckily he doesn't smoke. Okay. Do you see the tone of the sentence? While he drinks quite heavily, which is a major concern, luckily he doesn't smoke. This luckily he doesn't smoke shows your tone, that you are concerned about the patient. You truly care for the patient. That luckily he doesn't smoke. So his case can be handled. He can be recovered. Okay. And this is what they want to see. Okay. This shows that you genuinely care for your patient. Okay. So you're not just going to write, he's a heavy drinker, but he's not a smoker. That's very simple and plain. Now, I'm not saying that you should use big, heavy, fancy words in your letter. No need of that. Okay, wherever you feel it is necessary to connect your sentences properly, use that as well. Go for fancy English words, no problem in that. Okay, but make sure that the sentences you are writing, what you are writing, if you are writing about patients habits, and if you're writing regarding any of the details of the patient, make sure it is polite. Okay, make sure that your letter doesn't sound like you are kind of criticizing the patient's habits if he or she is a smoker or an alcoholic. Okay. For you, that person is just your patient. Okay. So that tone should be there. All right. Keep in mind that you must use sensitive language, very important, in your letter rather than being blunt and harsh. For example, use BMI of and not fat or overweight. Okay. Suppose during the treatments, during the surgeries, sorry, during the surgeries or treatments, the patient gained weight. Okay. Now you are not going to write in your letter that now the patient has gotten fat. No, that's not a good way to write about your patient. Okay. You can say the BMI of the patient has increased, gained weight throughout the um, treatments. Okay. There is a way. You're not just going to write the patient is now fat, has gotten fat, and now they are depressed about it. No, that's not a nice way to write about your patient's condition. Okay. Another thing, self harm, use the word self harm rather than suicide. Until and unless, suicide, if the case note is properly based on the, suicide case only, that the patient is getting depressed day by day, the patient is going through financial losses, and it is the whole letter is based on that, then you can use the word suicide, but in a proper manner. Okay, like attempted suicide or um, like that. Okay, it depends on the situation, but rather than that, you can just use self harm. Okay, I hope you all are understanding these things. Genre and style. Your writing is appropriate to the reader's discipline and knowledge. These are two examples here that we have, that how you should write and how you should not write. Okay. Dear physiotherapist, suppose you're writing to physiotherapist. Dear physiotherapist, below is a very technical description of Mr. Sheen's psychological status and needs. Okay, a simpler way or a very a plain version of this sentence would be, dear physiotherapist, I am providing you Mr. Sheen's requirements and needs for psychological needs. Okay, I'm describing um, Mr. Sheen's psychological needs and requirements. Okay, because he is not well, because he is going through a depressive episode. You're not going to write like that. All right. Another example how you should not write. Dear specialist, let me tell you what's what. Firstly, comma, do this. Secondly, comma, I think you should do that. Please don't write it like that. Okay. Please make sure that you're not writing it like that. It's not professional. It's not formal. It's not going to make things clear for the reader. They will get confused instead. Okay. They will just be confused. They will not get your point. Be clear, whatever you are writing. Make sure that the words that you're using. See, in this first sentence, do you see anywhere any word which is not helpful? Dear physiotherapist, below is a very technical description. You're describing description of Mr. Sheen's patient's name of what? Psychological status and needs. Psychologically, what is his status and how is he recovering and what are his needs? Okay. On the other hand, in this sentence, can you tell me any word which is helping the reader? I don't think so. Okay. So please make sure that you're not writing it in a casual manner. You're using proper words. And yeah. Then we have here organization and layout. Hmm. The different types of layouts of the OET writing. Okay, so these are different types of layouts for the OET writing, different types of writing. You can take help from this. You can understand each type. You can see, whenever the case note demands what you can write, how you can write. Okay, so first we have description, and this is something many English language tests will provide you, and you should have good knowledge of it. Okay, this is very basic. Description, there is a description type of writing. Examples are given here. Description is when you are describing something. Okay, the colorful flowers brought life to an otherwise lifeless sidewalk. Okay, this is you're describing the sidewalk basically, and you're describing the colorful flowers also. Then recount is another thing. Recount will be helpful to you if you use it in your letter. An introductory paragraph that briefly covers the who, what, where, and when. Okay, I think this you can use when you are writing your either introduction passage of the letter or first main body. As I said, three main bodies can be there. So first main body can have the admission date, who was admitted, what was the condition when you are kind of introducing your patient in the letter. Okay, recount you can use. Then recommendation, suggest actions to be taken in response. Wheelie walker is needed for the patient, or the patient needs a special room to give his or her exams if we are if we are dealing with a case note where the patient is just a young patient, 21, 22 years old. Comparison is another type of writing. Layout. Jim and Jack are both my friends, but I like Jack better than Jim is understood. So basically, when you are comparing, you can use comparison when you are, when you are showing some difference between the progress. When you are showing the progress of the patient. Suppose on 22nd June, the patient's condition was deteriorated. Okay, was getting worse. Okay, but then on 27th June, the patient was kind of getting better. So you can use comparison there. Classification, sorting things into groups or categories on a single basis of division when you are classifying these things. Explanation, explanations details and logically describe the stages in a process, such as the water cycle or how a steam engine works. Basically, you can use explanation type of writing whenever you are explaining how the treatment was going on, what surgeries were, the what surgeries or tests were happening at that time when you were taking care of the patient and everything. Okay. So these are the different types of layouts that you can use in your letter writing. Now, language, very important. Make sure your grammar rules are correct. There are some grammar topics that I believe are main grammar topics. Now, English grammar is quite vast, okay, but I would say there are some topics that you can skip, and then there are some topics that are very important to cover. Okay, like if you have good understanding and you finally master those 5 to 7 grammar topics, I don't think you will ever make any grammatical mistake, at least in writing or speaking. Okay. So language is very important. Your overall language use makes meaning clear. Your vocabulary is precise. You're using correct vocabulary words. Your grammar is accuracy. Whenever it comes to vocabulary, there are many words. Okay. Those are heavy, fancy, they look good, they sound very good, right? But it's very important that the vocabulary words that you are choosing, it fits with your case note and it fits with your letter. Okay. It shouldn't sound unnatural. Your sentence structure accurate, your spelling should be accurate, and your punctuation should be perfect. Okay. All right. So that was all for today, everyone. Do you all have any doubts or queries regarding writing module? I would be happy to answer all of those. If it is anything, then please let me know. Any doubt or question regarding anything? Okay, so I think that was it for today. And yeah, I hope you all found this session informative. You all took notes, and I was able to, clear out your doubts and confusions if there was any. And yeah, that's all, everyone. Thank you so much.